Jesus, after scoring a brace against Leeds, has gone ahead and really issued a statement that he's hungry for more goals that will see him fail Man City, Pep Guardiola and Erling Haaland to grant Arsenal the win that they've gone ahead to fight for the entire season of lifting up the Premier League. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. Thank you guys for watching it through. It's always nice watching you comment and obviously dropping those well doctored comments into the comment section below. And guys, I'm sorry, I have really gone ahead to really delay to bring in the fourth story because today there was a game of Manchester United. We lost to Newcastle by 2-0. That's it, and we are now fourth into the Premier League table. And then Big Brother Titans ended today, and I have another channel where I do all that stuff. And you know, it was really breaking story. They are breaking story they need to break and do, and obviously I had to really put them to the channel. And then I'm here to bring you the story of Jesus, and we are talking about Nuno Tavares, an Arsenal loanee that was fired from the training session of Marseille for being big-headed. So that story resonates with the story that came in like 2-3 weeks ago, that Mikel Arteta had issues with Nuno Tavares during the training sessions of Arsenal. The boy is big-headed, you know. He doesn't want to do what the manager will be telling him to do, and however much he's talented hugely, he might cost himself a career by not being so much attentive to what the managers are really telling him. That is a player called Nuno Tavares. Don't forget to subscribe. I want to hit 13,000 subscribers for the entire month. We never really hit that mark, and this month I want us to hit that mark because we lose nothing. We lose nothing by subscribing to this channel. So guys, continue to subscribe. Now let's do some Jesus, Alan Shearer, Paul Mason and very many others. It's almost going to be a Gabriel Jesus encounter in here onto the Rokani Media Football. Now Jesus says, I want to score in every game, but sometimes it can't happen. I'm more happy with the 3 points than the goals. Everyone is playing so well, it is easy to come back. The most important thing is that everyone has come in. Sorry about that. The most important thing is that everyone that has come in has played good. Amongst everything that I'm gonna hate to say, he's talking about wanting to score very many goals. You know, people have always said Jesus is not the person who scores goals, but trust me, if he wasn't injured, I'm sorry to bring in if clauses because I don't really believe in them, but in this scenario I'm forced to throw in an if because there are people that underrate Jesus a lot. That is not a man who scores goals, but trust me, at Arsenal he's going to score very many goals. He's going to score very many goals. In the remaining 9 games, Jesus might find himself netting like 6 or 7 because when he scored a brace against against Leeds, there are very many teams that Arsenal has to play that are like Leeds. If at all I'm to go into the fixture of Arsenal, I'll let you know which teams Arsenal are really left with. On the weekend, Arsenal are playing Liverpool. You know, he's a big game killer, you know. Arsenal won against Liverpool in the first leg at Emirates because of Jesus' effort. He got a concussion and said, if I don't return to the field of play, these boys of Arsenal want to win. And he came in through and secured Arsenal a penalty that was taken by Bukayo Saka, and the game ended 3-2. Now, West Ham, Southampton, Man City, Chelsea, Newcastle, Brighton, Nottingham Forest and Wolves. So I believe that he can find a team to really score against a hat-trick. I think he can find a team to put 3 goals past, and I think he might even outscore those players that have already hit 13 goals like Martinelli. Bukayo Saka is having 12 in the league. For him, he's now having how many? He's having 7 goals and 6 assists. So it shows you how important he is a player for Arsenal. But that hunger to go in and really call in for more goals has really gone ahead to really go onto my head, because for a striker like Jesus calling in for more goals, every Arsenal fan should be excited because he is hungry to create goals, because for him that's a given. and making other players look good on the field of play, but adding goals to that is something else that we should go ahead and really try to look through. So he wants to score goals. He wants to score goals for Arsenal, and if at all he can score like 6-7 goals for Arsenal, he will have joined that queue of players of Arsenal that have gone ahead to score very many goals this season. Martinelli 13, Bukayo Saka 12, Odegaard 10, Xhaka 9, and Jesus would have gone ahead to score another double figure. So it shows you that he is sending a message to Pep Guardiola, the likes of Erling Haaland, because people try to compare with him Erling Haaland, but to me, I've always told people that on any day I take Jesus over Haaland. You know, for me, I don't want a player who scores goals. I want a player who creates chances. Look at Trossard at Arsenal and the changes he's making at Arsenal. You know, in the games he's played at Arsenal, he has 7 assists. 7 assists and 1 goal. So I would love to be having a player like Trossard and Jesus who really create very many chances. And I told you before the game started that I can't wait to see Jesus and Trossard really linking up. And I promised you that in the entire minutes the pair is going to spend on the field of play, expect a Jesus-Trossard moment. And on the third goal, you saw it very well, because talent complements talent. Iron sharpens iron. You get? The quality of Jesus is almost the same like that of Trossard. So the brilliance they have on the ball just communicates to each other that I'm laying a pass there. And he did it. So I believe Jesus, having players like Trossard playing alongside him, he's going to score very many goals this season. And I think his score is going to be really put to bed, and it will come to pass by the end of the season. Now, Jesus said to compete against a strong opponent and a team that scores a lot of goals, we look at this. We said before the game not to look at goal difference and focus on points, but sometimes you have to try and score more and more and more, as it might be a factor at the end of the season. Now, I've always called in for Arsenal to score very many goals, because I'm smelling a rat that maybe this trophy might be won on goal difference. That's it. That's it, because Arsenal is having a very bad fixture. You know, they're having Liverpool. Then, after Liverpool, they're having Liverpool in the queue. There is Newcastle. After Newcastle, after playing Liverpool, they're going to play Southampton. After playing Southampton, they'll play Man City, they'll play Chelsea, they'll play Newcastle, and Brighton. So those 4 games, you get, are really huge for Arsenal. Man City, Chelsea, Newcastle, and Brighton. And for Chelsea, we might find out a manager. Do you know what they call a new manager bounce? Their manager has just gotten sacked. That is not Brandon Rodgers. Brandon Rodgers was sacked in the evening, and tonight Graham Potter has been sacked by Chelsea. So you might look at that game of Chelsea and say, all right, they're really having a very bad spell, but they can raise up to the occasion due to the new manager bounce. That's also possible at a club of Chelsea. So to me, I believe they need to find themselves in a position of really going in to win very many games. And you would love Jesus to be part. You know, I might find myself repetitive, but I want to reiterate my words on Jesus. I told you, if Jesus was in the game of Arsenal versus City at Emirates, City was not going to win that game. You get? Those chances that Nketiah misses, I believe Jesus scores them, all creates more chances because of his composure in front of goal, and obviously finding out a well-placed person to score the chances that Arsenal are creating. So to me, I believe Jesus wants to create more goals, wants to score more goals, and is hinting about a team not losing out on scoring very many goals, because City is now having a 2 more goal difference than Arsenal, meaning that if the season is to end now and the teams are level at points, you know what happens. So my mind tells me that City is scoring many goals and Arsenal should be scoring very many goals. So the game plan was, let's go for the win first and then goals will come in later, and obviously it went in that way. Now, Paul Mason, working on Sky Sports, you know him very well, an Arsenal legend, has come out and really said the following about Jesus. I thought he was outstanding. He just brings something different to them. He comes off players. He ignites it all together. He reminds me a bit of Firmino at Liverpool when he was at his pomp, playing with Mane and Salah. Now, Arsenal is having its front three, comprising of Jesus, Martinelli, Saka. And now, with the home of Trossard, I think Mikel Arteta is going to be left in a rock and hard place. He's going to be discombobulated because of who to start and who not to start, because these players are equally good. And I think Saka has made his reason sounding at Arsenal. That's why we're going to give him a new contract of £300,000 a week, and very many other players that are doing the job at Arsenal. So, talking of Firmino, Salah, and Mane, obviously Jesus, Martinelli, and Saka. So, I think they'll win the trophy, and that trio can't just go outside there and really miss out on to winning the trophy. Then Alan Shearer had the following to say. He said 11 games without a goal before the World Cup for Jesus, but he's back. They have had to be patient with him because of his injury. That certainly worked because he looked very sharp versus Leeds. So, did he really look sharp? I think he did. 3 chances, 2 in the back of the net, 1 going over the bar. It was a very good header, cross brought in by Granit Xhaka, but Jesus never really gave it the direction into the back of the goal that really saw it go over and over the bar. So to me, I believe Shearer, being a striker, he knows what it means on missing out chances, but calling him a very good clinical striker in the game of Leeds, that shows you how good this player has gone ahead to improve. Now, Nuno Tavares, who is on loan at Marseille, is having terrible problems, and we've been told by the Get French Football News in English that Arsenal loanee Nuno Tavares was kicked out of a training session by Marseille manager Igor Tudor last week, as the player was not giving the commitment required and was not making efforts. You understand? So, Tavares doesn't look like a troublesome person, but when you hear those reports coming in from Marseille that he was kicked out of the training session because he was not giving the commitment required, you smell a rat. You smell a rat, because when it was him still at Arsenal, a story broke last week, 2-3 weeks back, that he fell out with Mikel Arteta and his behaviors are seen as bad and smelly at Arsenal. So as it stands, the boy is really unruly and needs to find himself in better positions of really playing for a team which goes by the names of Portugal and Arsenal. So his behavior is really bad and smelly. We don't know how he's going to behave, but it looks like it's not one of those behaviors that you could go ahead and really call in for. So smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on the stories that we do upload in on a day. Now, tell me your thoughts about Jesus hungry for more goals to gift Arsenal the trophy. Then, Nuno Tavares, the way he really found himself in a position of falling out the manager and being thrown out of training, that is really part of this game and it's turning into a habit. So, we sign out for now. See you later. I think the last video of the day. I'm even feeling sleepy, guys. I need to go all out and sleep, rest, then get recharged for tomorrow. Not so, guys? Alright, so, good night, good morning, depending on where you're watching us from, because I know certain countries where it's good morning, good afternoon, good evening, but to be specific where I am, it's past midnight. 2 hours past midnight, and I think it should be sleeping time. Not so? I'm out.